Hello, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to our English class. Well, this is teacher Faithy, and I am on church on Intermediate 2. So, in this class, we are going to start with a question. Have you ever done anything crazy, like the picture, jumping on the air, or eating in a restaurant on the sky? Well, if you ask me, my answer is yes, I have. I have jumped from the zip line. You know, this is a really crazy thing that I have done in my life. Let me show you what happened. Let me tell me a little bit about this wonderful experience. Well, 4 years ago, in 1996, I went to Hidalgo, and there in Huasca, I walked up onto the high mountain, and I did this. Yes, I jumped from the zip line, but you know what was the most terrifying thing? The most terrifying thing was that I did upside down with my head. Look at the picture. Yes, I haven't jumped from the zip line before, so that was a great experience that I have had in my life. So if you identify what is the topic that we are going to check in this class? Yes, you're right. Today in our class, we are going to check one more time the topic about experience. This is the principal use of this tense, the present perfect. So my question for you one more time is, have you ever cheated on an exam? Well, remember in this topic, we have special words that we have to use it and a special formula. Do you remember what is the formula to use the present perfect? Well, if the formula is this, we have the subject plus an auxiliary verb, have a has. Remember, it's not the verb, it's an auxiliary verb, plus the verb in past participle. Remember, the past participle refers to the third line. We have the present, the past, and the past participle. We use that line, the third one. So it's important that you have very clear that we have two teams in the verbs. From one side, we have the irregular verbs, like my example. We have eat, ate, eaten, and all the list of them. And the other hand, we have the regular verbs. So they keep the root, but we add ed in the most of the cases. Do you remember what are the 6 rules for the regular verbs in past participle? Well, we're going to do a little review about it. But first of all, we have to read the sentences we have here in the picture. Using the formula, subject, auxiliary verb, and past participle, we have the first one. She has eaten an ice cream. And in the second picture, they have watched a movie. Well, let's do a little review about the 6 rules. The rule number 1 of regular verbs, we add ed at the end of the verb, like the verb post. We say posted. In the second rule, we have to add only the letter D. Like the example in dance, the verb ends in E, so we only add D. So the verb is danced. Rule number 3, when we have a verb that ends in Y, but before the Y, we have a consonant, we change that Y for a Latin I and add ed. For example, in cry, now it's cried. However, if we have a verb that ends in Y, but before there is a vowel, we don't have do anything. We don't change. We only add ed. For example, in play. Y before a vowel, play keeps the same. Played. Rule number 5. When the verb has only one syllable, and if we count from the right to the left, and it is consonant, vowel, consonant, we double the last consonant and add ed. For example, in hug, we put hugged. And what about the rule number 6? Well, in that case, we have a verb with 2 syllables, and the second syllable is stressed. So it means it is stronger in the pronunciation. For example, in travel, we don't say travel, we say travel. So the second one is stronger. So when it happened that, we double the last and add ed, and it is traveled. Okay, now we are continuing with the uses of present perfect. There are many of them, but we are going to focus only for the 5 most common. The first use for the present perfect is when we express an action that happened in the past, but whose results are obvious in the present. Remember this. The most important in this example that I'm going to put on the screen is the result. Okay? When we focus in the result, we're talking about the present perfect. In my examples, we said, John's car is dirty. So he washes the car. And what was the result? What is important? The action. So we express that and we said, he has washed the car. So the most important is the result, the action. Now, in my second use, we use the present perfect to refer an action that has just finished. Look at the sentence. Mark is having lunch. So we express in present perfect that action that has just finished. She has just had lunch. So the time expression is just. Remember, when we use just, it's because we refer or we mean that it's something that happened a short time before. Like in the example, they have just painted their house. Move on to the third use. The third use is when we're talking about an action that is started in the past and hasn't finished. Look at my example. In 2000, Billy and Jane bought a house and they live in the neighborhood. For 2015, they live there. So we express that using the present perfect to refer an action that started in 2000 and continues in 2015. It hasn't finished yet. So we said, we have lived here for 15 years. Or we have lived here since 2000. So when we refer to an action that has started in the past and continue in my present, we have this time expression, for versus since. What are the differences? When we use for, is for plus a period of time, like for a long time, or for a while, or forever. Or the second option, we use for the number and the time word. For example, for 2 weeks or for 10 years. However, if you use since, we put since plus the starting point. For example, since I was young, or since the beginning of the time. The second option with since plus a time or a date. For example, since yesterday or since 1991, like in the example. Now we are going to move on to the for use. In the for use, we express experience that we have or we haven't lived. Remember my example? I have jumped from the zip line, or I haven't jumped from the zip line before. Well, we express the experience using the present perfect. Remember, always when you want to count or tell somebody that something that was wonderful in your life, that experience you have to express in present perfect. The example, he has flown a plane, but he has never tried bungee jumping. Look at this example. We don't use hasn't, and instead of that, we use has never. This is another form to say it, but both are correct. Or the second question, have you ever traveled by plane? So the time expressions in this kind of questions is the expression ever, have you ever, or never when we said that we did it. Now, we have some adverbial time expressions that are only or exclusive for present perfect. We check just, and this is the second, yet. Yet is used to talk about something which is expected to happen. And it means at any kind of to now. In this expression, we use only for, very careful, for questions and negative. In the example says, have you ever been to London yet? No, I haven't been to London yet. Now we have another adverbial word for present perfect. What is missing? Yes, already. Already is used to say that something has happened early or earlier that it might happen. Example, I have already been to Brazil. So try to remember these keys. Already and just are for positive. However, yet is for negative and for questions. In the example says, I haven't done my homework yet. Or in the question, has Tom called yet? Now, we are going to move on to the 5 use of present perfect. In this, we express that an action that happened in unspecified time. Look at, this is the most important difference. Sometimes some students are very confused when we use present perfect or when we use past simple, because both tenses talking about an action that happened in the past. But don't worry, it's very, very easy. The difference is present perfect never says when happened the action. That's the reason it is unspecified time. Don't say when. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care. Look at the example. In this case, the sentence says, Brandon has tidied the room. When? It doesn't matter. Don't care. This is not important. So remember, this is the very important key. Present perfect never says when happened the action. And this is the principal difference between the past and the present perfect. Look at these examples that we have here. Past simple always answers the question when, and we're talking about a complete action and a specific time in the past. Remember, we answer the question when happened the action. Whereas present perfect never said the time because it's not important. And we use the present perfect to refer an action that is complete at the time of the speaking, but the important for me is the action and the result, how affect my present. But we never said when happened. Look at the contrast in these sentences. In past simple, you said, I studied 3 sections last night. In present perfect, I have studied 3 sections until now. The time is not important. When it happened, it doesn't care. The second example, I did half of the exercises when? Before lunch. Present perfect. I've already done half of the exercises. What is important? The action, the result. And example number 3. He drove 500 kilometers yesterday. We specify when happened the action. That's why it's past simple. Got it? However, in present perfect, we said he has driven 500 kilometers so far. The important is the result, what happened until now. So at the end of this picture, I put what are the most common phrases in each case. The most common phrases for past simple, like yesterday, last month, 1 week ago, in 1999, and so on. However, the present perfect, we use expressions like since, for, already, yet, never, recently, 3 times, so far, until now. So they are the typical words that we use in present perfect. So the time expressions always are the tips to make the difference. Now, finally, I have in this picture a letter, so we can read it together and we can see how you use present perfect and past simple in a letter and in a writing. So read together. It says, this is Sue. No, sorry, this is Claire sending an email for her friend Sue. Clarice's experience in London. You won't believe it, but I am in London with my class. Through chat. We have seen so many great things. Experience. I don't know where to start. We have taken a boat to a long river Thames. We have been on the top of the London Eye, and we have had dinner in Chinatown. We have been to Madame Tussauds Museum. Look at this. Last night, we were on the Trafalgar Square and lost 3 of our friends. Fortunately, they turned up at the hotel an hour later. Anyway, that's about all for now, Claire. Now, check some details. If you notice, we have the expression have seen, have taken, has been. When Claire makes the narration of the details about the experience, he uses the present perfect. But if you notice, she never says when happened the actions. We only talk about the result of the action. The most important was express the experience. However, when she expressed the specific time, like last night in the green mark. Look at the tense, were and lost. Now she uses the past simple. This is the way you can make the difference. When you refer a specific time and you say when happened the action, you use the past simple. You see? Easy. But if you never said when happened, and this is not important, it doesn't care, the important is the result of the action, even it happened in the past, you use present perfect. Okay? Until here, that was all about our topic. I hope you understand. Remember, this is not a new tense for you because you're checking another levels before, but this was a review and reinforcement about this topic. If you have questions or doubts about that, we check in the video and the presentation in the grammar tutorial, please drop me a line on the platform in Google Classroom, and I answer you as soon as possible. Well, thank you for being here in our class. It was a pleasure to be with you. See you tomorrow in class. See you on Saturday in class. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy and wonderful day.